Today I fucked up by falling asleep when my crush was coming over. Last night, I was going to have a girl over. We're both in college though, and she lives with her strict parents, and had to sneak out late. So when she finally leaves and is on her way, what do? I fall asleep. And yeah, I can use the long week, up at 3:30 a.m. excuse, but that's so stupid. I could have just waited for her to get here and slept, right? No, apparently not. So I woke up at 6:30 a.m. today, realized what I'd done, and just apologized profusely. It's worth noting that she had to drive 40 minutes to get here, waited outside my place for 30, then had to drive 40 back home. I'm so fucking embarrassed. She says she isn't upset, but how can't she be? We had a camping date planned for tonight and that's still on, which is a good sign. If anyone has advice on making this up to her, please let me know. I plan on spoiling her today and tomorrow, don't worry. Too long did not read. Was going to have a girl over, my crush, but fell asleep when she was on her way and kept her waiting. All advice to make it up to her is welcome. Pro tip. Once the plans are made, set an alarm to make sure you are ready for future arrivals. She's upset but it's cool that she still wants to be with you. Just apologize again and then give her something, like flowers. It's nice to receive flowers. I'd say if you're still on for tonight then yeah, that's a pretty good sign that she isn't super offended by it. From my experience, if the feelings you share are mutual, she won't be that mad at you. In terms of making it up, I'd say a simple apology in person and having a good time tonight will make it all water under the bridge. Edit. Experience source, 7 years of fuck-ups like that yet still got engaged to my girl last year. You go pick her up next time. She is probably also upset that she even has to do that. If I were a legal adult having to sneak out of my parents' house, I'd be mad too. So if you pick up on bad vibes, just remember it might not be about you. If you apologized and she accepted your apology, best to just put the whole thing behind you and never speak of it again. Just concentrate on being young and having fun. It's great that you're still on for tonight, but you really have to go the extra mile to make up for what happened. Either she's mad or she's feeling bummed out that she doesn't mean as much to you as she thought. You gotta erase those thoughts from her mind and show that she matters. Today I fucked up by asking my boyfriend if doing the deed was all he thought it would be. First off, I don't know if this should be tagged NSFW, but just in case. I've, 18 female, been dating my boyfriend, 18 male, for 2 months now, but we've known each other many years. Now, I've never had a boyfriend and it was a huge step for me to open up to someone the way I have with him. We were each other's firsts, but he's had a couple girlfriends before. The other night, we were hanging out and taking turns asking questions back and forth. When it was my turn, I decided to ask him if sex was all he thought it would be. He waited for a bit, but then said he didn't have any thoughts about what it would be like. My boyfriend's a terrible liar, plus, I know he's watched porn and has probably thought about it before, so I could tell he had something to say. I was a bit pushy and jokingly tried to get him to say what he was thinking about. He finally agreed, but said he thought it might be rude. I told him it would be fine and I wouldn't care, so he said, I don't know, I thought it'd be tighter. I don't know why, but it kind of felt like a slap to the face. I can't feel upset because I made him say it, but now I just feel like there's something wrong with me. I wouldn't consider myself a very attractive person, so I'm always worrying about other things when we're being intimate. Now I feel like I have to worry about this, too. I also can't stop thinking about whether it's just me, or if his expectations were maybe too high. It never occurred to me that it would be a problem because it definitely hurt the first couple times. Every time I think about it, I just feel like crying and I don't know what to do. TL, drive. I asked my boyfriend if sex was what he thought it would be. After some pushing, he responded with, I thought you'd be tighter. Now, I'm super self-conscious and feel like crying every time I think about it. If he has never done it, he doesn't know what tight is or isn't. He has nothing to compare it to. What he really meant to say is he thought a vagina would be tighter, not yours. Don't let your mind be consumed by something you can't control. And you're his first, he didn't mean yours vagina. It's just that he had a fantasy in his mind and it didn't live up to the reality. I was also quite surprised because I thought it was much tighter than it actually was. So don't let it bother you. I think it's quite common for men to think that it's tighter than it actually is. To be fair, not being overly tight is a good thing, it means you're comfortable. Normally being too tight is a sign of not being fully aroused. So he should take it as a compliment. Pretty sure that's definitely not your problem. No, there's a lot of guys out there who grip too hard when masturbating, which is likely where that false expectation comes from. I wouldn't worry about it. You're both young and inexperienced. All the parts comes on all shapes and sizes and it's all okay. Also, being that young means y'all aren't good at communicating. It'll come with time. I mean, that was actually my thought too the first time I had sex. It's not you, it's just in reality sex feels different than virgins imagine it. Doesn't help when you death grip your wee-wee your whole life, 2 tears of joy. I mean, just try not to take that personally. 'Cause I promise it's not your fault. Today I fucked up by making my best friend lose all of his money. I 20F have had a friend 20M for the past 5 years now. We always share everything from advice to finances. We dated for almost a year but broke up a few months ago and stayed friends. We are both South African. He went to study in Western Cape and he is studying on a bursary, and I stayed home to work for my mom's business. A few months ago my mom had a baby and asked me to babysit for her, and she will pay me $53 a day since I also have to do everything else around the house along with taking care of the baby. My mom stopped paying me a week after she started and borrowed the money I saved up to buy clothes for the baby. She sometimes gives me a portion of the money she owes me but always borrow it back for one thing or the other. It's been over 2 months now and she owes me more than $3,200, and she promised to pay me back in July. My friend has been receiving money from his bursary every 3 months for the past 6 months. He is into investing but so far hasn't worked out well for him. I always help him with his investments, and the first time the website crashed with most of his money there, it was bad, but his bursary still paid for his food, so it wasn't that bad. So last month they increased his stipend and included an allowance for food for the next 3 months in it. He asked me to help him invest at a place that will get him a lot of money in a short span of time, and I found this website that could triple his money in 2 weeks' time. I told him to join and he did. He invested all his money in it and the website crashed a week after and he lost everything. I promised him I would give him all my savings so he can get back home, but my mom still hasn't given me my money. Yesterday he texted me from his friend's phone to tell me that he sold both his phone worth over $8,500 and his school tablet worth over $3,200 for $850 just to afford a bus ticket to get back home. I know his situation is all my fault and I don't know how to deal with this. The situation is stressing me out and I feel so guilty and I wish I could help him, but unfortunately I can't. I know if I try to pressure my mom to give me my money back she will just say she will cancel it and won't give me a dime of so. My mom is very narcissist and expects every to be done by her own terms and on her own time, and she will only pay me when she feels like it. Edit. No, fortunately this didn't affect our friendship at all. He said that he understands it's not my fault, it was a dumb decision to begin with, and he is glad he has my support and hopes we will make it one day. He wanted to invest because he wanted to use the money to start a small business and wanted me to be his business partner so we can work together, thus he asked for my advice. We are planning on actually saving anything we both get for the next few years to start a small business. Too long did not read. Today I fucked up by making my best friend lose all his money in a bad investment. Now he had to sell his phone and tablet to get back home. What is he investing in that a website crash would lose him all his money? That doesn't sound like an investment, that sounds like a scam. In the future remember, if someone could triple money in 2 weeks' time they would not tell others about it. They would just keep tripling their own money. I have bad news for you. You and your friend are not into investing. You are into falling for scams, obvious ones on top of that. Triple your money in 2 weeks? What were you thinking? Claims like these scream, "You will lose everything" to a pump and dump or Ponzi scheme. At the top of their lungs, and you still manage to miss it. Somehow. Please, for the love of everything you hold dear to your heart, if you learn anything from this, let it be to stay far away from any investment opportunities, until you at least know the very basics of what to look out for. He is into investing but so far hasn't worked out well for him. I always help him with his investments. Found the fuck up. Damn, I always thought those scam sites only worked on elder people, but you are 20 yo. Invest in when you are poor is not a short-term game. You can't get good returns on short-term low-money investment, never. Learn the lesson. Today I fucked up by taking my brother grocery shopping with a blank check. He works at a restaurant and has been eating their food for 10 years now. It has made him a bit, his words, chunky. He's trying to lose weight, has lots of college debt, still depressed about our parents dying early, so I thought I'd help him out. I'm very frugal and make less than him, but he's all I got left in this world. Great kid who has never said a bad word about anybody. So I took him grocery shopping for healthy food. He mostly got a bunch of frozen and canned stuff to store for later because this wouldn't be a regular thing. Lots of fruit, veggies, deli, no junk food. The total comes to $104. On the inside I'm like, geez, save some for me. On the outside I'm chill like, yeah, don't worry about it, I got you. I think you know where I'm going with this. My stomach is rumbling. My breakfast is a handful of peanuts. My lunch is also my dinner, which is the McChicken I redeemed for 1,500 points. Today was supposed to be payday, but the manager is out today and I don't have DD. Too long did not read. I went hungry so that my brother could eat healthier, and now my paycheck is delayed. 104 sounds like a typical grocery bill. You sound like a good brother, or sister. I guess you never said. You've earned the right to go raid his fridge or pantry. Get DD set up ASAP, it's the only way to go. Not going to lie, I don't see the foo. Sure, you go a little hungry, but you were there for family. Good on you to take care of your brother before yourself. World needs more of this. Hi, Antifa Democrat here. I'll Venmo you $100 for groceries if you DM me. Just pay it forward as mutual aid in the future. Nobody should be living paycheck to paycheck or going hungry in this country. Period. The fact that some of us are, even though our labor generates far more than enough wealth to prevent that, is a blatant failure of capitalism. Payday is payday. Get your check. It is illegal for them to hold it because the manager is not in. You're just karma whoring and don't know what blank check means if you had a $104 limit. Why would someone not tell their brother, hey, I can't spend more than $50 worth of stuff because I have to eat as well, and fill up my tank, etc. Perfectly reasonable, and if someone bought me even $50 worth of groceries, that would blow my mind. But as a single guy, my bill is around $100 a week, and that's even with 8 of my meals per week being free at my job. You need to tell your brother that you can't afford that much. He does not want that. He does not want you to spend literally all your money on him so you can't eat.